If you struggle with coming up with content ideas, whether you're a creator or a business owner who wants to use content to grow their business, I'm making this video for you. And I wish that I had this video available to me a decade ago when I first started making content. I'm going to share with you 2 ways that you can literally come up with infinite content ideas all the time. Because I'm willing to bet that I know you. You're the person who's watched the YouTube videos. You've even downloaded the free guides and purchased the courses on how to come up with content ideas, but nothing is sticking. And the reason why those methods and those teachings don't stick is because they actually create more resistance between you and the idea and the one thing that you're supposed to accomplish, which is create and publish. So in this video, I'm going to share with you an unorthodox philosophy and technique that will literally help you never run out of ideas again in any area, not just content, but in general. And I've been doing this just shy of a decade. I've grown my own account to 100,000 followers, and I've helped industry leaders grow their accounts, create viral content, and break free from this resistance of having to come up with ideas all the time. So just in case you were doubting why you should stick around for the next 15 to 20 minutes, I promise you this will be the most impactful video for you to come up with ideas and never run out of ideas that you'll ever watch. All right, let's get into it. To be honest, before I jump into the 2 ways, I gotta kind of rewire your mind around this notion of coming up with ideas because it's wrong. We don't come up with ideas. Just the notion of coming up with something feels very forceful because it's push energy. Like I have to turn this into gold and I have to come up with something super brilliant and super novel. And what that does is it puts us in a state of overwhelm, and I feel intimidated because I feel like it's a big lift to come up with something that's new. And if you're anybody like me, I want to be original. I want to come up with new ideas all the time and I want to stand out. And that's a great trait to have. But the problem is it's not true. We don't come up with ideas. We source ideas. Now, what does it mean to source an idea? To source something means that it already exists out there. Your responsibility is to be the one who picks it up. And I'll give you an example. You're not coming up with ideas. You're just too distracted from hearing the ideas that are happening and being sent to you. For example, when you're in the shower, before bed, when you're driving, where your mind is quiet and you're actually present to hear those things, you get those ideas. And I'm sure you're like, man, why is my brain always racing? Why do I have these $1 million ideas all the time before I'm going to bed? Because you're not distracted. The reality is we're always distracted from the noise outside and from the noise in here. Whether it's business, whether it's family, whether it's bills, whether it's social media, or whether it's our own anxieties and our own worries. So the first thing that you have to adopt to get really good at even doing the 2 things that I'm about to tell you is the skill of being a good listener. Listening to what's happening out there and listening to what's happening in here. For example, when you're out in a social setting, are you actually present? Are you listening to the conversation? Are you listening to what people are saying, their problems, their worries, their happiness, all of those things? And are you listening to yourself? Are you aware of your thoughts? Are you journaling? Are you considering the things that are happening for you? Are you considering what's going on in your day-to-day? When you consume intentionally, not through distraction, are you paying attention? Or are you just existing and letting things happen? When you're able to be a good listener, and this is what we call in the marketing space social listening, you then become a leader of thought. You become the person who supports these people in understanding what it is that they do and being able to give them solutions around it. Because you are not coming up with ideas. You are strictly a vessel that allows the ideas to move through you. And you're the one who's able to pick it up and then execute on it. And I know that may sound woo-woo, but look at the greatest artists across history in music and art. In their interviews, they have even said this. I am not coming up with anything. It's like a moment that happens for me and something is flowing through me and I just execute. I operate as a vessel for the idea to move through. And here's the thing. If you don't grab the signal once you receive it, or when you receive it from the outside and you read a comment and you're like, oh my God, an idea sparks and now I need to create it, that idea is going to go to somewhere else. That idea is going to be ready for someone else. And you might have even had this experience. I'll give you an example. You've watched somebody's video and you were like, I had that idea a few months ago. I was going to do that same exact edit, or I was going to talk about that same exact thing. You actually did receive that signal. You did receive that idea. The issue is you didn't pick it up and you didn't execute on it. So the idea had to find another vessel, a vessel that was ready to bring it to life. That is what you are. Yo, quick commercial break here. If you are finding value in this video, it would be my honor if you just went ahead and clicked the subscribe button. That'll help us get this channel in front of more people that need it, because it is my goal to help you really extract the message that you have inside of you and be able to put it out into the world without any resistance, whether that's just to create content and express your creativity or leverage that content for your business. So if this is helping you, I would highly appreciate if you press subscribe. All right, back to the video. So if we develop the skill of being a good listener, then the 2 ways I'm about to share with you are going to be very easy to adopt. The first way, you source an idea internally. It's the internal sourcing. So you source from the source, the divine, God, because God is always sending you signals. God is moving through you. You are an extension of God, like the example of me telling you when you're in the shower, when you're about to go to sleep, or when you're driving. When you're in that state of rest and quiet and presence, you hear these signals. The mistake that we make is we don't listen to them because we're so distracted, but 2, we don't record them down. When was the last time that you had a great idea and you were like, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm never going to forget that. And then a few hours pass or a day passes and you forget it. And you're like, oh my God, if I could just remember that idea. I'm sure you're watching and you're like, that happens to me all the time. So it's your responsibility in real time when you receive that idea, when you receive that signal from above, that you actually record it and write it down. So an easy way that I like to do, it's super simple. I have a notes in my iPhone notes section. It's called content ideas. I have it pinned at the top. Every time something hits me, whether it's after a meeting, whether it's when I get out of the shower, whether it's before bed, whether it's when I'm having a conversation, I literally stop dead in my tracks. I pull it up and I write it down. Another way that I do it is I'll pull up my phone and then just document a selfie video to myself, talking to myself, and I save it in an album called journaling. What this allows me to do is in that first section of internal sourcing an idea, I can document it in real time because I may not be able to get to the execution of the idea right away, but at least taking action of recording it is step 1. Now, let's say that you can't just stop in the middle of the meeting and write an idea, or right after the shower, you can't really find your phone is charging, whatever that might be. The other way to internally source is reflection and documentation. Like I said, the divine is moving through you. You're having a lot of life experience happening. So in my community, what I teach my students is create what's alive for you. Create what's actually happening in your life right now. The problem is we don't know what's happening because we don't document it. So I give them 2 journal practices every single day. You need to embody this practice because what you'll be able to do is then go and reflect upon those journal entries and source ideas from them. You're going to journal in the morning, what's called the morning pages. You're just going to brain dump everything that's on your mind. It doesn't even have to be coherent. It could be your anxieties. It could be your gratitude. It could be what you have going on today. It could be a thought that's going on. It could be an idea that you felt as soon as you woke up. Just brain dump every single morning. This should take you no more than 10 minutes. And at the end of the day, you're also going to journal for about 10 minutes. Now, this is a different type of journaling. In the morning, you're brain dumping. In the evening, you're anchoring. What happened today? What did I do today? What did I learn today? What do I want to do differently from today? And what am I grateful for today? The more you anchor the things that have happened, like for me, I'm literally now documenting every single day exactly what went on, step by step from beginning to end. And what I realize is my patterns of behavior. What I realize is my interests. What I realize is the things that I've learned. What I realize is the ability to be grateful. And that allows me to stay present. And then retroactively, I come back and I look at those pages and I'm like, whoa, this is what's moving through me right now. This is what I was able to fix. This is what I was able to accomplish. And then I teach, document, create from those things. Sometimes the content, especially on social, will be excerpts of those journal entries onto like a B-roll video or into a carousel or into a thread. So internal sourcing is one of the most important things. And once you're able to eliminate the distractions, become a good listener of both self and divine, then you're able to create from what's alive for you and expand on your learnings as you expand as an individual. Me again. Okay, I know you were in the zone, but just quick request. If you can leave a comment down below on this video on where this is making sense for you, if you got a takeaway, or if something isn't making sense and you have a question, that would really serve me to be able to continue to serve you and make content around your specific needs. I appreciate it. Back to the video. The second type of sourcing is external sourcing. Now, I want to give a big caveat here before I talk about this one. Many people are teaching external sourcing of ideas, but the problem is they go about it in the wrong way. And it is my belief that they go about it in the wrong way because they want to create a codependent relationship with you. They give you a formula of how to go find ideas, and then you have to stick to that formula and never depend on yourself and only depend on them. So here's what it sounds like. And if you've been learning about this, you've probably heard this before. Go find a creator that's created a viral video. Go find the title, the thumbnail, the packaging, and then listen to the hook, and then give your own spin on it. Honestly, that's just regurgitation. That is not sourcing ideas because you've eliminated yourself from the equation. Even though they tell you give your own spin on it, give your own spin on it how? If I've already just watched it and documented it. That's the wrong framework on how to go about that. Right idea, wrong framework. Here's how you actually externally source ideas that already exist. You have to tap in and become a good listener of the collective consciousness. Here's what I mean by that. Do you ever feel weird when social media, like there's a month that goes on in social media and you feel like everyone is talking about the same thing? Well, the reason why is because we're all connected and we're all having similar life experiences just in our own respective pockets. The way to source an idea and tap into the collective conscious is not go to the creator's video and see what they're talking about and then spin it as your own. No, it's to go to the places where the person who you serve is having conversations. This could be Reddit forums. This could be Quora questions. This could be the comments section in somebody's YouTube. This could be the comments section in somebody's Instagram. This can be in a social setting when you're at dinner or when you're with your significant other and you're having a conversation or you're watching the news or you're watching a film. What are the comments? What is the discussion that's happening? And what are people saying? It is your responsibility as a creator, as a thought leader, to add to the conversation, to bridge the gap around the conversation, to support the people on the things that they need and illuminate the things that they don't know about yet because you're the geek around it. So when you go to these videos that are performing, forget the video itself because then you just become another pawn in the game of this social media space. You lose a sense of your own voice. You burn out. I'm telling you this because I played this game for a long, long time. And then I just became a cog in the machine trying to feed it for all of the views and all of the engagement. I'm telling you now, stop that. Operate like a researcher. Operate like an educator. Go to these videos. Look at the comments. What questions are people asking? What questions have been left unanswered? What are the things that are top of mind for people where you can come in and support the collective consciousness? So internally source, externally source. Don't feel overwhelmed in coming up with something. Consider yourself a vessel where as long as you're not distracted and as long as you're listening well, these ideas will flow through you and you'll expand your thought leadership, you'll expand your creativity, and you'll become someone, paradoxically, that people want to listen to because you become a mirror for them because what ideas you got, the collective consciousness is feeling, you just become the source to deliver it. All right, if this video is helpful to you, I highly encourage you to watch this video here where I break down the 5 content types that you want to focus on so you don't feel burnt out trying to make all the different styles, the green screen, the B-roll, the carousels, but what is the true mechanism around the type of content that you should be creating that gets you in front of the people that you're most equipped to serve. All right, other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.